Hi there, I care and you matter. I'm Shannon and welcome to my channel. Today is September 3rd. I had to look at my calendar there. And I hope you all had a wonderful Labor Day if you are in the United States where I am. And that's why this video is a little late, which brings me to my next thing. I am going to be trying to maintain a very consistent content calendar. I am going to be uploading videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This seems to be good days for me, and I hope they're good days for you. But first, let's jump into my life update for this past week. As many of you know, my husband was let go after 24 years, and today is officially his last day. So as you can imagine, things are a little heavy around here, myself included. However, he had his exit interview last week, which I think was a good thing, you know, ripping off that Band-Aid. And in a sign of solidarity, I made sure that I could be at our kitchen table, our dining room table, which is right adjacent to where his work area is, so that I would be off camera, but I'd just be there working quietly. But you know, who are we kidding? I didn't get any work done. I was eavesdropping. He didn't wear headphones. He had it on speaker so I could hear both ends of the conversation. And I did that because I know I would have wanted that company. And so I did that for him, and I think he appreciated that. And it lasted less than 10 minutes, and it was very, very clinical. We talked a little bit about how he was going to handle certain things if they came up, because, you know, this company has just shown in so many ways that they don't care about the people. They don't care about the people working for them. They don't care about their caliber of talent. They care more about their bottom line than the talent that they have working for the company. And so he wanted to make sure, you know, you never want to burn a bridge. However, you got to watch out for you because nobody else will, unfortunately, especially in this day and age. So I am going to be taking Jason out to lunch, and I'm paying with my business account. And I got to say that there's a lot of pride, I guess. Maybe that's a good word. I'm proud of the fact that I run my own business and have done so for 16 years now. And while it happened out of complete necessity, I don't think I've ever told you that story. I had Nate and went back to work a few months shortly after because, one, we needed my income, and two, I was working part-time as an administrator at a local elementary school where I used to teach 4th grade. And one day I wrapped up my duties early, and I just had a feeling in my gut. And I went home. Actually, no, I went to pick Nate up from daycare. And it was a really well thought of woman who ran the daycare from her home. All the teacher friends that I had used her. All their little kiddos were there as well. And I'd met with her. I loved her. I liked the environment. But I went there to pick up Nate. And I walk in the door and I can't find him. And the woman's just sitting looking at her computer. She didn't even stop. She didn't turn around to look at me. And I'm like, I just mentioned, hey, where's Nate? It was quiet. Everybody was asleep. Or so I was assuming, because, you know, there were no little ones around. And she said, oh, I don't know. And I thought, surely she's joking, right? So I tiptoed back into the back room where she had pack and plays and a crib where all the other little guys were sleeping. And we're talking toddlers to infants. And Nate at this point is about 8 months old. And I don't see Nate. I'm thinking, where in the world is my kid? And I'm starting to get a little panicked. And so I step back into the I don't know what you'd call it. It wasn't really a living room. It was a family room, I guess, of sorts. She had her computer. And I get it, you know, sometimes you got to hop on and check things, but I glanced at her screen and she's playing video games. And again, a little more assertive, I said, where's Nate? I can't find him anywhere. And she goes, oh, well, he's around here somewhere. Long story short, I find my little Nate wedged under the couch covered in soot and dust. I'm like, one, I don't care about the dust. Okay, houses get dirty. That's fine. But to not know where my kid is, and I'm thinking, good Lord, how long has he been stuck there? And I just grabbed him. I grabbed the diaper bag, and I went home, And I thought, I can't do this again. I can't leave him again. Oh, my mom eventually stepped in and helped care for Nate while I had this job. And you all know the story. After we adopted Mark, I ended up having to work from home or find a way to work from home long term in order to help manage Mark's special needs. And it actually ended up being a huge benefit. To wrap up that last story, I got Nate home, changed his diaper. It was obvious he hadn't been changed in hours. I was grateful that my shift was only a 4-hour shift. And I worked and lived only within 10 minutes. And the daycare gal was only 10 minutes away. And I debated whether or not I should let all my other teacher friends know right then and there. And I thought, no, the kids were sleeping. They're fine. No need to upset my friends, the other teachers. But I did let them all know that evening what my experience was. And it turned out that she had been neglecting the kids, and she actually had to close up her daycare. And I know there are great daycares out there. I've used some of them just to socialize Nate, because with Mark I'm getting off on a tangent here. I'm so sorry. But with Mark having such profound special needs, Nate, as a toddler, very desperately needed to be around typically developing peers as well for his social needs and his social skills development. So I ended up taking Nate to a local daycare just so he could play for an hour once a week while I sat there and visited with the gals. Because again, I wanted to keep my eyes on things. But so getting back to where I started from, I have, out of necessity, ran my own business from home, and I have done everything over the years. And while sometimes I've been really jealous of Jason because he's an animator, very, very highly creative, I think as the older I've become, or shall we say the more mature I've become, I've gained an appreciation for my own creativity, which is not necessarily a traditional creativity, but hacking, making things work, getting by, and not just making do, but making better in a situation. That, my friends, is creativity too. And you need creativity to problem solve and to troubleshoot. And for the longest time, I thought those two were the same things, and they are absolutely not. To problem solve, you know what the problem is, you know what needs to be addressed, and you actively seek solutions. What can address the problem? Troubleshooting is when you don't know what the problem is. You know something's wrong. You know something's, askew, amiss, not working, but you don't know what that is. And so you have to troubleshoot. You have to try different things, different approaches, different potential solutions, different changes in order to isolate and figure out, okay, what is the problem? What needs to be addressed and fixed here? And so those are two very distinct skills, but they both absolutely need creativity. And I grew up, my parents struggled with money, with finances my entire life. And so hacking, making do, or making better, as I like to say, making the two proverbial ends meet, being creative with finding solutions, hacking things to get things just the way I want for the price that I want or within the constraints that I have. That's creative too. And that is absolutely me. And I enjoy it. It's almost a hobby. Though this weekend, I have to say, and I don't even know if I should share this, but I'm going to do it anyway. This weekend, we spent time with my in-laws, Jason's parents, and his sister, and I love them. However, they like money. And I guess there's nothing wrong with that. Who doesn't like money? But I'm sitting there listening to them talk about how much money they've spent on clothes and how they can easily drop $800 to $1,000 at one time. And I'm thinking, okay. I was excited because I found this pretty tank top for $2 at my local thrift store. And I don't know. I thought it was a little tone deaf, especially in light of they all knew that we've already received his last paycheck. We've got no more money coming in from him. I don't know. So it just rubbed me the wrong way, almost a little hurtful. And yeah, yeah, I don't know what to say. I guess I'm sharing that because I'm still struggling with that a little bit. And sometimes there's just no point in sharing or bringing something up. You just bite your tongue and you think, okay, some people just they do that because they don't know better. So I'm just trying to let that go. I've got bigger fish to fry, to be honest with you, which is helping Jason and picking things up. So, okay, I'm rambling. I apologize. So today I'm going to take him to lunch and we're going to talk about next steps. And next steps for him is he would like to not be dependent on a corporation. And I agree with him. I think in this day and age, none of us should be dependent on a corporation, whether that's you have different streams of income, whether that's you have a really strong savings, whether that's you have an exit plan, exit strategy. I don't know, but he's trying to, again, determine, does he want to go back into animation? And if he does, what does that look like? And for me, I've got to say, I think I've shared, I've been using his situation to light a fire under my butt. And what does that look like? Thanks to all of you, I have picked up and just started to run with my middle grade fiction book series again. And actually, drum roll please, I got a printed proof. And I decided I didn't like this cover. Long story there. If you've been here for a while, you know that I have a degree in production illustration, so I set up a little art studio and I got to drawing again and I was loving it and realized that I couldn't do that. Not in addition to my regular job. I work part-time as a curriculum writer, which requires a lot of typing. And of course, writing the stories takes a lot of typing. And I just couldn't do all of that and draw at the same time due to arthritis from a really old injury I have and psoriatic arthritis. So rather than get down about it, I did take somebody else's suggestion and I purchased some clip art that was created using AI. And the longer I sat on that, while I loved the look of the cover, I don't like the idea of using AI. Not that I'm absolutely against it. AI is here, that tech is here, it's not going anywhere. But for me personally, there's something rewarding in rewarding human creativity. And my book doesn't use a lick of AI in the interior, in the story. And I don't want the cover to have any AI art either. And so I hired an illustrator off of Fiverr, lovely woman, and she drew this robotic AI cat for me. Ironically, the story is about that, or part of the story. But I'm not loving how this looks, so I'm thinking I might do a redesign of the cover. But it was so rewarding to see my book, my story in print. And wow, that just felt like a huge win. So this week I'm going to be working on redesigning the cover and ordering a new proof because I'm hoping to launch this book at least on Amazon sometime this month. That is my goal. And so we'll see if I get there. But I've been working hard this past week on rebranding myself, redoing my website, and just, you know what, holding up the family, holding the household together, and continuing to work on my stuff too. So to wrap things up here, I've been considering, I don't know if this is the kind of content you guys would like to see. I enjoy giving you little weekly updates on what's going on in my life and in our household, and hopefully maybe you can glean some comfort or some ideas there for you. But would you enjoy seeing my writer journey? I've already shared some of it here in the Let's Chat videos, but I was thinking about sharing some of that on my videos that I launch on Thursdays, showing you my process, showing you what I do, how I do it, how I'm feeling about it, how it's working or not working. So if that's the kind of video or additional videos that you would enjoy seeing, please let me know and I'd love to share all of that with you. But for now, I'll leave it here and I will catch you on Thursday. Until next time, bye-bye.